Check, check. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining on time. Got the usual faces in here. Love to see it. Yeah, Ramsey, I start every week class on Sunday with Spine QQQ, so I'll definitely give you a detailed breakdown as well as everybody else. So Phi, we can take a look at that as well. September calls, nice. Hopefully you can get some movement out of that. Do you just get in those SoFi or you've been in? Let me know what day and what level I can kind of help you out if unless you're just getting in, versus hey, I'm down 40% or hey, I'm up 40%. That'll kind of dictate what I tell you on something like a long swing like SoFi. Hood, we can take a look at Hood for sure. It's always a favorite. Give it 1 or 2 more minutes, guys. Let people trickle in. Pretty small class, but people usually fall in pretty late. So let's see who rolls in. All right, guys, one last message to the server and we'll dive right in. All right, guys, welcome in. My name's Starth1K. Looks like it's the usual faces in here, but if I'm skipping over your name and it's you guys are new, glad to have you in here. Glad to have you putting in the time, especially the regulars. You guys are here week after week. I love to see that. Takes a lot of effort to be successful in this market. Can't just show up when market opens and expect to be a winner every day. So I'm glad you guys are putting in the work. But with that, you guys, we're gonna get started. As usual, we're gonna start with SPY and QQQ, just kind of a detailed breakdown of um, what I'm seeing, what I'd be looking for, how I'd play this. Again, this is just day trade perspective for me on these. So if you guys want something with a lot of time, whether it's SPY, QQQ, Apple, Tesla, let me know, because otherwise it's just going to be like, hey, if this level gets here today, this is my day trade entry or exit or whatever it is. And so again, this is just kind of a day trade perspective. It's a lot different if something has 30, 40, 50 days of time on that contract. So but with that, you guys, main thing I'm watching right here is kind of just this range. So we started our week, a big gap up here last week, last Monday when we talked. This is our trading session from last week, and we're back in the range. So the upper part of our range. So what is a range? Basically, it's where we see repetitive bounces on the bottoms and repetitive and repeat rejections on the top. So we come to this lower zone here. We can see when we get down in here, buybacks kick in. Get down into here, buybacks kick in. Down here, lower zone, buybacks kicking in. Upper range should be pretty obvious. All these ranges here, obviously this, after our session, pre-market, sold, gave it all back. But once we are in the trading hours, during market regular hours open, we see when we get up into this 590, 591, when we fail to break out over, what happens? Selling pressure kicking in every single day. So for me, that's exactly how I'm going to treat this week until we're out of this range here. So, meaning lower extremities, I'm buying bounces down here. Like it's, newer traders, it may be hard to grasp that a little bit when something's going down. So like, well, why are we buying a call? Well, we're buying calls at key areas, not just anywhere just because, why it's going up. Why are we buying puts? Well, puts only at important areas where it makes sense, where the risk is low. And so SPY and QQ are very similar this week. A little bit of a zoomed in look here. I'm on the 30-minute chart for you guys. So this is kind of my game plan this week. Again, up range here at 590, not interested in starting a call position up here. We catch some calls down here over here and we push up and we sell into this. We sell for profit into this, but I'm not starting a position up here on calls. And again, same thing down here, this 586 to 585 pocket down here. If you don't catch the sell on puts, don't watch this sell, and then go, okay, now I want puts down here, because it's probably going to bounce pretty damn hard because it's bounced every time. And for me, I'm not trying to guess when is the time that it sells through. You wait for it to sell through and a hold and a retest, a retracement back under this level for it to sell through. And then you say, okay, we sold through a support. It's holding underneath. Now I'm going to get my puts for another leg down. So for me, this purple line here, you guys, is the daily 9 moving average. So if I were to go the daily chart, it would line up right here at basically 587, 7-ish. But that's what I'm looking for. So immediately tomorrow, if we open, kind of right now, we got this candle, I believe right here. I'm not sure exactly where we are. But if the overnight session's kind of open somewhere around there, with the daily 9 stacked here and a support stacked here, my initial instinct is to try and buy the dip on some calls. Doesn't mean the opening bell, I don't trade the open. So for me, I'm looking for, a trickle in here, 30 minutes, 45 minutes after the open, see if this level holds here, try and grab a bounce there on that level, that 587.4, because it lines up with those wicks there. Candle body close is not perfect there. We can see once we get near this zone, obviously we've got a kill candle here, but when you get back over, we can see how sellers just give up. We're back over. When we bounce this zone, sellers give up short term. So that's my first plan of action on SPY. It's not a super tricky zone, but we're kind of opening in between two kind of key levels, what I call key levels here on this zone. If we gap below this, so if we gap, tomorrow morning we're under this and we're pushing up pre-market, rejection. I'm leaning a little bit of bearish for some puts bias and using this little pocket here as some puts. So 587.4, if you guys want to take some notes or screenshots. Anything under that, I'm looking at selling pressure kicking in to sell us somewhere down in this zone here. Do we get all the way down here? I have no idea. Maybe we get halfway and we bounce or something like that, or get to this wick. But that's kind of my plan of action on SPY. If we open in the zone, I'm treating it as a range because we know, Mondays are very, very range bound, very high probability of that. So we could very much be, stuck in this range on Monday, meaning this is our top and this is our bottom, this is our range. But any opens into it, or if we open over, basically, 588.8, we see that level there. When it gets reclaimed, we push over that, big momentum pushes up. Okay. Nothing really on this back half this week, early last week, but any pushes over, and that's a good bullish sentiment for me. But again, don't be blind to where we are, because you're in with flips, taking puts here. We trim, he trimmed, and now he's all out, and you're holding a full position, and now you haven't sold anything, and now we're rejecting. You get back most of your gains. You don't want to do that. So hopefully these levels make sense for you guys. It's a fairly easy range. And when I say easy, it's because, we've been here just last week. And so it's hard to trade when something is an all-time high or something like that. But we just have price action just from a mere, 3 to 5 days ago. All we do is we look left and we go, okay, there's been some bounces here. There's been a lot of rejections up here. And just, your zones, you build a game plan ahead of time before you even get into it. Giovanni, how do you find support and demand and our chart? Honestly, man, I never, I kind of repeat this, which is fine. I never delete levels. So, if I were to go I started my trading journey on Webull. I have levels at SPY at 350, 400, 415. When SPY hit 420, everybody's cheering, when SPY hit 500. Those levels are all still in my chart. Are we ever going to get back there? No idea. But I know damn well if we get back there, I don't want to have to go back to my charts and go, okay, let me look back here. Oh, there's a support bounce here. Let me mark this level here. We get back here. Like, just leave the lines on your charts. And I'm not saying, go the 5-minute mark every damn level. But as your question kind of hints at, I usually start the 1 hour and the 4 hour. And so if it's something totally new, like if you guys give me a new request that I haven't ever played before, it's kind of fun because I have a fresh mindset. SPY QQQ, most of us trade that every day. In my mind, I trade this for so long. I know when we're pushing up to 590, I know, hey, if I'm in calls, I should be scaling out of calls. We get down this 580, I see the big buyback reaction. I just know those zones. Same people that trade Tesla, Apple, whatever it is. But it's more just, keep your watch list small and just learn 10 to 15 names. You don't need to trade the latest and greatest thing on Reddit, on Twitter, whatever it is. And so just keep those 10 to 15, maybe 20 stocks and just know them. And so when it comes to that level, you don't have to think. It's no stress. Yeah, don't get too far off topic, but if you want to take a screenshot real quick, yeah, these are my indicators. Volume splits, that tells me buying and selling volume. Multi-time frame moving average, that is this purple line here. That's the 9, the 20, the 200, and then intraday EMAs 9 and 20 as well. So, and then hourly 20, that yellow line. That's, if you can only do two or three things, indicators, I'd say VWAP and hourly 20 will get you, 80-90%, of all you need on indicators. So any questions on SPY? If not, you guys, I'm going to move on. Don't see anything in the chat as of now. So QQQ. And as of now, you guys, we have your mics are muted, but you have the ability to unmute your mic if you want to ask a question. If you prefer that, if it's quicker, if it's easier to talk through something, just jump on the mic, please keep it on topic. We only have an hour tonight, so make sure it's trade related and about what we're talking about. But yeah, QQQ, guys, similar thing. So if you guys want to mark some levels, anything up here, 522 to 522.3, this 522 pocket, or excuse me, 523. If I watch a move up here again, I'm not wanting to start a call position up here. Can it break out over? Eventually, it's going to break out over. That's fine, and then I'll be proved wrong. But until then, any push up here, once we get up to that level, we see, when we don't break and hold that level, what does it do? That reaction down, selling pressure kick in. We get up to that level, failed breakout, selling pressure kicks in, failed breakout, selling pressure kicks in. We gap over it after hours. What do we see? Sellers, obviously, I think this was some earnings or possibly, was this the Trump tariff news? This was something, but my point is, once we break over a level with heavy volume, what happens? Sellers give up, big move. Okay, next day, what happens? We battle it out here. Once buyers give up, what happens? Hard move down. So that's what I try and teach week after week, day after day. Look for these big inflection points in the market where you see big moves in the market, big bounces, big bounces here, big rejections. And those are your levels you want to look for when you guys are just starting out trading, is look for these big wick bounces, these big topside wick rejections. That's how you chart and find some levels on a fresh chart. So QQQ is a little more cut and dry for me. Right here at this 518, I really hope we open right at 518. It makes it easy on us, because if we hold 518 here, let me get out of this and zoom in just a little bit here. I know you guys are on your phones and stuff like that, so let me zoom in for you so it's easier to see. Let me get a smaller time frame as well, 30-minute. Yep. All right. So the game plan is pretty easy on QQQ tomorrow. So we have our daily 9 moving average underneath us. Okay. When it's under us, that's a form of support. We have our hourly 20 curling. If that gets underneath the price action, that is support number 2. If we hold 518, that's support number 3. So as 518 holds, I'm not interested in puts at all right here whatsoever, because we have support, we have an hourly 20, and we have the daily 9 moving average. 3 things, basically 3 forms of support, all stacked very, very close in here. So that's super, super strong support. And if we hold this level here, I'm looking for bounce reactions like this. Bounce up. I don't know. Do we get to 521? I have no idea tomorrow, but I'm not taking a put position at heavy, heavy support when I have moving averages and different indicators stacked for me, working for me. So any sell under that, that's fine. We're day traders. That's fine. So a sell under kind of these wicks here from Thursday, we can look to get into bearish positions. But again, that daily 9 is going to be creeping up somewhere down here. I'm not quite sure, because we have to see when it updates. It updates on the close every day. And so somewhere around this 517, it's going to open. So we can take puts on a rejection of 518, but just know this daily 9 is eventually going to be creeping up. It's going to be a form of support. If you don't believe me, look at that. Look at that. Look at all that right there, bouncing in there. Any sells under that, I think we see heavy selling pressure, and buyers probably, I'm not saying we don't bounce at all, but buyers are probably going to give up on the day, probably retrace somewhere down into here on this move here. I don't know if anybody else has these crazy ass gaps, but think or swim, maybe I need to do an update. But I had this all over my charts on Friday. We're not gapping price like that, but just trying to ignore that as we go through some charts, but I'm not sure what's going on with my system lately. But any questions on QQQ, guys? Again, this is just day trade perspective, day trade setups. We could see that 518 again. When we bounce that, we bounce really, really nice up to that 522 would be great. So no questions on that. I don't have, I got a few things trickling in. I got hood, IWM, definitely going to hit that one for you. With that, you guys, I'm going to go to the watch list. That's why we're all here. Let's see. Let me scan everybody here. Norvin, you're not here, so guess what? You're getting skipped, brother. He DMs me an hour before, 30 minutes before class. He's like, hey, we look at this, and then he doesn't join. So Norvin, you're getting skipped, brother. And you actually got some good setups, so you better get your butt in here. All right, SoFi's up first. SoFi, year-end September calls. Again, let me know in the chat or unmute your mic if you're comfortable. I kind of want to know if you're in profit or not, because it dictates, we got resistance overhead. moving averages overhead. But if you're like, hey, I was in, like a month ago, or I don't know yet, but if you're in somewhere down here and you're in profit, that's going to help me, dictate what I tell you a little bit. But I'll wait for you in the chat or on the microphone. But yeah, SoFi, I don't hate it. Let's go larger time frame, kind of see what we're doing on the daily here, since I don't trade it a lot. If you guys know my charting style, thick lines overhead, heavy resistance, thick lines down below us are heavy support. So we can see, you guys, that big 14 zone. So we sold down January 22nd, basically back here. And I know I've went over this several times, and basically, low zone range, this is a big percent gain for sure, but a lower range down here in the 7 to 9 zone. And then this big breakout last year in October, and there's just boom, push over 14 all the way up to 18, retrace back down. And so now that's kind of where we're at. And so that's kind of what I'm looking for in this. Any pushes up to here. So calls all day long down here at this 12.7, 12.6 zone. But again, calls up here, if you're not in already, to me, it's a little bit risky. So I don't want to see, let me get my drawings here. I don't want to see pushes up, trickle into this range here. And at 13.40, like, okay, I want to get bullish here on calls and reject that level. You try and trade at the open, you get smoked at 13.4. Tried to trade at the open or near the open on Thursday, smoked. Sold down 13.4 again. So we got 2 moving averages overhead. You haven't said anything in the chat, so I'm just going to assume I'm going to give my own trade plan on this. But anybody watching or wanting to get it in SoFi, for me, it's got to be a break over this level for swings, because I don't want to take a call position here, seeing all that all that information right there and those moving averages stacked against me. I don't like that. And so, because I'm expecting to see more rejections up here when we get up here, so a break and hold of this level, absolutely get long on some swings. You're gonna have 2 moving averages stacked underneath you. That's a very good position to get long on. If you want to be puts, I know this person wasn't in puts, but just for people that are watching, what do we see here? This price action here. See that reaction right there? I'm drawing a dashed line. Now I get out of drawing mode, draw a line here. So we break this level here. I think we're going to keep selling. So you zoomed in, look at that level I just drew there for you guys. So any break below that level, get bearish again on a day trade, even some swings, because that 13.25 is big. We see that reaction every time we get there or around there, what happens on that 13.25. But kind of a tricky zone. If you're starting a position, yeah, you can take on support here at 13.25, but buy some time, or just wait for that 13.4 to break. Because when that breaks and holds, that's where the sellers kind of say, you know what, buyers are in control. Let's let them take their turn, But as of now, kind of this lower range here, mid to lower range, a battle here. If 13.25 gives out, you should probably, hedge it with some day trades. If you got those September calls that are kind of just bouncing break even, 5, 10, 15%, whatever it is, that's the level I'd be kind of watching there. All right, getting caught up with the chaff. Ray, no, I wouldn't say it's easier. Ray asked, would you say it's easier to trade SPY and QQQ over individual names? Not really, because a little bit of a tangent here. So QQQ is big tech. So all big tech names, basically here on this left side here, it's not every name in QQQ, but it's basically it's the big dogs, it's the big players: Apple, AMD, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Netflix, Nvidia, Tesla. Okay, so Ray, if these 6 or 8 names are moving up, not even 6 or 8, if half of those are moving up, QQQ is going to be pushing up. If all of them are selling, QQQ is all going to be selling down. Okay, QQQ is easier because it's more concentrated. SPY, SPY, has these names. It's the 500 biggest names, S&P 500. Okay, so there are days where QQQ is pushing and SPY is kind of chopping. People are like, well, why does SPY have all these wicks? Well, SPY also has some XLE stuff, so it has energy, has your oil companies, your gas companies, has XLF, your banking sector, so Bank of America, Citibank, JPM, stuff like that. XLE, XLF, those names are also in SPY. So QQQ can be pushing up, and XLE can just be selling, selling, selling. And what's it do? If QQQ is not pushing up enough, SPY is probably doing something like this midday here, just kind of chopping, ranging back and forth. And so if SPY starts to chop a little bit immediately, my red flags go off. I'm like, you know what? Hands off SPY today, focus on QQQ. And then a single name company, it's cut and dry. It's either up and down. Nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing affects it, but Tesla can be selling really, really hard one day because of news or whatever it is, and Apple and AMD can be pushing up one day. But guess what? You're in Tesla puts, so that's all you got to focus on is Tesla. Obviously, watch for bounces or something like that if you're in puts, but or Tesla could be chopping one day and QQQ's moving. So I would say in the order, a single name, you only got to focus on one. QQQ is very, very concentrated. It's a little bit easier. And SPY, you kind of need everything to work with it. More often than not, it does, but there's days where it does not. So hopefully answers your question. Hood, let's take a look at it. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Haven't charted this one, haven't traded it in a while, haven't charted it at all, really. I mean, I've charted it, but I haven't traded it at all in a long time. So, bullish. I hope you're already bullish in here because double tops, double bottoms, something to watch here. So not to spook you out of a trade if you're in, but I don't want to. Let me back up. Is it day tradable up here for calls? Absolutely. Would I buy a new swing long position on calls up here? Probably not. So definitely day tradable. Let me get a couple levels up here for you. But like taking a swing trade up here, this is not the spot I want to watch. I'm a bottom feeder. I want to watch support bounces. I want to see a breakout retest of a support bounce, get some long swings there when the moving averages curl up. But big heavy double tops up here, obvious double tops, like I don't have to sell this to you guys or fake it. Like it's very clear up here. There's some supply rejection up here. Demand is where people want to buy. Supplies, people are like, you know what, I'm taking my profits, we're happy with that. And so let me get a couple levels here because they're very important up here. But again, I don't hate it for calls, but I'm going to treat this as a day trade calls. So maybe that's what you wanted anyway. So again, top zone, clear and obvious rejection all day long. So we don't want to take calls right up there, but let's get you a game plan on how we trade this. So zooming out here, it looks like in the after hours session, we're up in that zone there. So I'll be honest, not my favorite setup for calls, but I'll get you a game plan on how I trade this because that's what you asked for. So you can definitely, we see this price action here. We see this price action hold here. Okay. We get over that, bounces, bounces, bounces. So if we trickle into here on the 65 to 65.19 zone, this is a spot you can buy calls because we are still on support, but just know your time is running out on the 67 zone here. If you bottom tick 65.19, okay, whether it's a long swing or day trade, that's fine. We push all the way up to 67, you're not selling, and you're sending me screenshots of how much you're up. I'm going to say, why haven't you sold yet? Because this is a very obvious, it can't get any more obvious on basic trading strategies and charting, where you sell at. You sell your calls at 67, wait for a breakout, maybe you got leaps, that's fine. You still sell on a $2 move up. Maybe you hold one leap and see if we get that breakout. But any holds at 65.19, stay bullish in this range. Again, range, here's your top, here's your bottom. This is a range. It's going to get messy here, back and forth. Just play the range, day trade the range. Don't try and catch this breakout at 67 because as of now, it's not going to happen anytime soon. It rejected, how many days last week? 1, 2, 3 days last week, 1 day the week before. That's all we need to know. Okay. Any sell under the 65 to 65.19, again, sorry, I'm getting bearish. I'm getting bearish on day trades. I'm getting bearish on some swings. I'm not much of a swing trader, but this is a setup that I would because a clear and obvious double top here. So any sells under 65.19, I'm on puts for the day because I want to see a rejection, sell down, take that profit. rejection, sell down, take that profit. Rejection, sell down, take that profit. Like when you see ranges are not such a bad thing, you guys. I know, even myself, we kind of complain about it or I kind of joke about it, but the more touches you get, that's more confirmation. Hey, take puts, sell them here because you're probably going to bounce. Take calls here, we're probably going to bounce. Probably going to bounce. Okay. So that's how I play SoFi, or no, sorry, I'm on Hood. Excuse me. Not my favorite chart to get long, but there's still some meat on the bones up here for sure. For sure. Going in order here. Laurel, good to have you in here, man. IWM. Scalping day trade. Yep, let's hit it. See where we're at on a smaller time frame. Yeah. Oh, I don't got to zoom out. We got some levels here playing nice for us. What do I see on this? So far, it's pretty obvious. So back trace a little bit. Big breakout of this top range zone. Sold back through it here. Sold through 208. Okay, next support. Sold through it. What are we seeing now that we sold through it down here? So again, purple line is my daily 9 moving average. It's support until it's not. Once we're under it, what is it? It's resistance. What is it doing? Resistance, rejections. What is it doing here? Rejections. What is it doing here? Rejection, 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 rejection. Got over it. And if we believe this move after hours, gap down as of now, back under the daily 9. So just looking here. As of now, my bias is skewed to the downside just because we're giving up 206. We're giving up the daily 9, but I'm not going to be a blind bearish on it without looking at some other levels first. So get back to my drawings here. Sold through support as of now, Laurel, but the daily 20, this green line. So this is my 9. This is my 20 that we talked about the indicator when someone asked what are my indicators. So we're under this 204.7. That's been pretty important for me. It's making me money. It's holding true, but the moving average is below. So for me, 204.5 is a good level. I would treat this level right in here, brother. This 25-cent range is like a scalp zone. So if you're truly scalping, that's fine. 25-cent move down, that's going to pay you nice. But be weary if you're in puts, they could bounce this daily 20 on you pretty hard, and they could just gobble those put gains up. So for me, a safer put entry is a break below that 204. And what does that do? Look here. If we look to the left, it also kind of coincides with this level here, this candle close, and this low from Thursday. So we sell through 204. It means we probably sold through it. We bounced up, we rejected. What did we reject? We rejected this pocket of volume here, rejected this wick here on this on Thursday as well. So to me, that's a little bit better step if you want to get short. Treat this as a scalp zone. Any holds over 204.72, play that bounce, brother. But don't just say, hey, I want to get 206, 207.76. We got all this price action from 3 days ago. You look left and you go, okay, there's a wick here. Maybe that's a good price target. We pushed up. This candle body's closing here. It kind of lines up with this cluster here. That's another one. Okay, trim twice. Now we got the daily 9 overhead. Trim again. Now you got a runner. Now you can look for 206. So you trim 30, 60, 80%, just making these numbers up. Now you're 120%. That's where you cash out and you put that runner in gains tab because you trimmed all the way up. That's how you trade it. So pretty nice spot. Let's see where we open this on IWM. Again, any sells under that, I think it's going to kick in some big selling pressure here on IWM. Nice name. Haven't looked at in a while. iPhone wants UNH. Let's do it. Let's get its butt whooped. Someone is betting. Don't go diving into calls just because I say this, but someone got some contracts for 2 years out, 2027. They put $10 million on it last week. So maybe they're waiting for the news to subside and this thing just make a slow climb, back to awesomeness. But right now it's getting its butt whooped. So again, some big flow hit this. Maybe somebody knows something. Maybe someone just, I'm going to put some money on it and come back in 2 years and maybe I don't have a lot of money. Or this can keep going down. Just because they buy time on it does not mean it has to go up. Just because flow hits doesn't mean it's going to go up. So I already know what I'm seeing here is clear and obvious sell down through moving averages. I'll zoom out in just 1 second because I don't think I have any lines on this yet. But a sell down, and what are we doing? Daily 9 moving average, smack down day after day. Every single day fails to break out over. It is now stacked tight underneath it, and some support here. I can just get this one going because it's making sense why it's bouncing here. This, if you see this day after day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, basically 7 days where there's no breakouts happening, but guess what? Sellers are losing. Why are they losing? They're not bringing it down anymore. So it's one of those things where news came out over and over and over and over, and sellers are just hitting it. Everyone's shorting it, everyone's selling. That's fine, but guess what? I think sellers might be exhausted. You know, some more news can come out and it can sell through this 290. That's fine, but if I see 7 days of a support bounce, no way in hell I'm swinging puts on this. Can we day trade puts on it? Sure, but no way I'm taking puts on something like this. Let's go to daily real quick. I want to see why it's bouncing here. Hopefully my charting is good. And why is it bouncing here? I would say that makes sense. This is our November 2018, our COVID dip, our COVID consolidation, our breakout. I always talk about it. Breakout retest, that is a retest of support. I never looked back until now. So what do? We sold back into this kind of COVID consolidation zone, not COVID lows, but this kind of consolidation zone as we're coming out of COVID in 2020. So again, where's it stopping? Where's it slowing down? It absolutely makes sense. So iPhone, if you're wanting to day trade this, I'm seeing a lot of resistance here overhead. Not where I want to be in calls. If we push, sorry, wrong drawing. Not a spot I want to start a call position. Just how I trade. Again, can it break out tomorrow or Tuesday, whatever day? That's fine. But when you see a push up, sell, 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 sell day after day on this basically 302 to 303 zone. Not want to be long. So for me, if you miss this move up, watch for weakness here. Maybe the markets look weak. Get your puts. This is like super low risk puts because it's obvious where you stop out. They break over this zone here, you stop out on your puts. But when it rejects what I say 7 or 8 times, like why not the 8th time? Why not the 9th time? Like you keep hammering plays like this, you guys, you keep hammering on puts. Don't get your bias of, hey, this name is beat down too much. It should go up. I want it to go up. Play the chart. The chart says it rejects at 302 every single time the last 2 weeks. So get your puts here. If breakout over and you're not in calls yet, fine, that's fine. Ride the wave up on that breakout. Hopefully it holds for you. But for me, this is like the obvious, where do I buy puts at? Absolutely. Maybe you want to get bullish on it, find a spot for some calls. We need to find a support bounce. There's a fairly obvious one here. Didn't want to do that. Sorry. What the heck? Why am I? Oh, my note. Calls basically at 299.68 zone. Why calls there? We can see those support bounces there every single time. Big support bounce there on Friday. Rejection, but it bounced there on Friday. So sellers could be short-term giving up there, 299.68. Definitely a spot to watch. But again, it's been getting hammered by news. Not my favorite chart or my favorite name to play, but it's definitely tradable. And only trade this if you can get a realistic contract. If you're buying weekly 400s or something stupid just because it's so expensive you can't afford it, trade something else. You guys don't have to act like this is the only name on the market to trade. Trade something that fits your portfolio. Amazon, let's hit it. How we doing on time? 20 minutes, perfect. Amazon rejecting this 206, 207 zone definitely makes sense. Love coming back to name I haven't traded in a while, and the zones absolutely this kind of it's not super red here. This red zone makes sense. You break below that, bearish on swings for sure. Some support coming up though, so We are day traders, most of us. I shouldn't say most of us, but a lot of us. So kind of same thing, what we're talking about. Another, I think it's QQQ, yeah. So 204, if 204 holds tomorrow and that daily 9 is right underneath it, calls all day long. Calls for a try. Obviously you want to see it hold. Don't just say, you're on the 1 minute chart. Okay, it held for a minute. One case says calls. Zoom out, look at the chart. Our market's pushing. We've got a 15-minute hold over this level here. Getting calls, play that bounce. But again, this isn't your first target up here. No, you're looking left. All these levels in here, all this price action in here. Tons of price action from 204 to 206, a 2-hour range. If you catch some 205 calls weekly and you catch this move up into 205, you're getting paid huge on this move. So any sell through 204 and the daily 9 and selling pressure is going to kick in. I'm not a call buyer until we get somewhere around here or some other big support zone. So for me, that 204 to 204.14 pocket, last chance support. Hopefully it bounces if you want to be bullish on it. Didn't quite get there. Bounce, broke over it, bounce. What happens when we get under it? Heavy selling pressure. So again, I just look at the chart, say, okay, what happened last time we broke 204? Heavy selling pressure. I'll ride that wave again with some puts. So anything up here, that was a big zone last week. It had to hold, and it did not hold. So I don't like it for swings yet. We got some moving averages stacked underneath here, but if we get down this 200 all day long, round psychological number, definitely. Yep, you're welcome, brother. Hope that helps. Anything we go over, guys, if you need more explanation, just send me a DM this week and I can help you through it best I can, or how I would trade it. Crash Celsius, right? CECELH. Let's hit it, man. Hopefully you're still in here. Ooh, big breakout. Let's zoom out. Where are we at? Let's get on this 4-hour. All right. Can extend this because it probably still makes sense. Give me 1 second, guys. Why can I not change that? What's going on here? There we go. Extend that. Bottom right. Extend that. All right. Nice little range here. Let's see if you have time. All right, cool. Are you in this trade or want to get in it? Want some perspective, but if you're getting bullish or want to be bullish, there's some good things working for you. Can't be blind to this overhead zone here for sure, but some things I like on a bullish swing setup. Anything with time? Yep, shares, perfect. Okay, so from a investor standpoint, so shares, leaps, very long swings. A clear and obvious kind of demand or upper range zone here was reclaimed. So 36 big zone, 36.76. Need a quick drink of water. Can't argue with that. Can't fight against that. That's good that we see that. What else is working for us for bullish positions is 2 moving averages stacked. Are this purple and this green. The 9 and 20 are now underneath us. So, you guys, how do you catch swings? How do you catch those big moves? You see this. So right here, just a little quick education on some swings. So 2 moving averages down here, sold through it. What do we do? Breakout, retest of this cluster here of these moving averages. This is a better spot right here. So breakout, retest, moving averages are stacked right there. See how those moving averages, if I quit drawing, see how they get tight there? And then boom, breakout, catch the swing, catch the market sentiment. Okay, that's what we want to see here. Not saying it's here yet, but it's forming. So what did it do on Friday? It reclaimed a big top, kind of this middle upper range here, and moving averages are now stacked. And so any push up and those moving averages are going to start curling under. So Crash mentioned he's in some shares looking for some calls. Yeah. So these are going to start curling as long as price action moves up. These moving averages are going to be a form of support, and you ride that damn wave all day long. Does 38, 39, 40 come this week or in 2 months or a month? I don't know, but that's what you want to look for on, again, you guys, when you got to build a trade plan, you can't just say, I'm going to swing some calls here. You got to zoom out and say, where the hell are we at? So Back in a zoomed in look, kind of a day trade perspective again. Don't love starting a position here, but again, if this red, we'll call it supply, we're calling it resistance, basically a break and hold over 38. With caution, can get long to start a new position, because what I would do and how I trade, so this was red resistance, we break this, what do? I turn this green and I say, hey, we broke over, we bounced it, we held, we closed nice on the day, and now we moved on Tuesday hypothetically over. So this is now a support zone for me. I'm not treating this as resistance. We're now over it. I say to myself, okay, all bounces and sells into 38 that hold, I'm staying long, but not blind of, information or volume up here, price action up here, that is. So you buy your day trades, you buy your swings, but you look left and go, okay, there's price action up here to play into, but don't just push up here and go, okay, well, this was a tough level, I'm just going to take puts. Well, no, we broke over, we're holding. So any holds that level, definitely day tradable. We can swing, but just be mindful, but you catch a dollar move on anything short dated, anything, a month or less, like that's going to pay nice. Like perfect rejection here, almost damn near perfect rejection here at 39, some levels here, but decent chart. But again, I'm just trying to keep a level head. I'm not getting excited until that 38 holds, because we've seen how tricky it is once it gets over that. So if this starts trading sideways and markets look kind of weak, maybe take a short on that, whether it's to hedge some shares or just because you can definitely day trade that. But markets look bullish. We get good news on tariff news, whatever it is, that 38 holds, ride that continuation up. If we break resistance, no reason to get in puts just because, like ride, we're just riding the wave of big, big money. Everybody in OT could, full port their shares, and we're still a blip on the radar compared to big money in the market. So just ride the wave, you guys, ride that momentum. I got level 37.88. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Close over Friday. Yep, definitely. Totally agree with that, man. Nice chart here. Nice potential on this for sure. Tesla, let's do it. You Tesla lovers, Tesla broke 357, I think it was on my chart. You break that, you know what happens. 357, that red line. You guys want to try and buy the dip, that's fine. You got to buy the dip, especially on Tesla. You got to buy the dip where it makes sense. Otherwise, you're going to get your ass kicked on Tesla. No other way to put that. Let me get a couple levels in here because I don't trade a whole lot here. I don't want to act like it's just going to sell down to 330 just because we broke it, but big level here for sure. Get these bottom wicks. That'll get us going. Maybe one more short midterm one. All right. Yuri, are you in Tesla or you just want some perspective on it? Mouth is getting dry. Let me know in the chat. I'll mute your mic, whatever you want to do, but I'm going to go over it for you best I can. Not loving this breakdown right here, though. If we gap over, push over, that's fine, but big level there. You guys see that? So I draw the red line or red zone, and we zoom out. We say, okay, where do we push? Where do we keep rejecting? Where do we not want to be in calls at? Right here. Sell through, sell through, sell down, finally a bounce. Which is promising. Now we zoom left, or excuse me, to present time. Let me get out of this. Oh, Norvin, 47 minutes late. Thanks for joining, brother. We already went over NNE and SMR. I gave everybody the trade plan, man. You're gonna have to ask them. Just kidding, brother. You weren't here, so of course I didn't go over it, but give me a second.
Yo,
all right, Tesla
podium?
guys. Tesla. What's up? Who is that trying to talk? All right, I'm gonna keep going. Tesla day trade plan. Okay. Any holds this level here, this 341.72. Hopefully I'm zoomed out enough that you can kind of see a trade plan, kill candle after hours. That's tricky to say, but support. So always know where we're at. So we sell through this. If we hold this level here, I think it's safe to say we can try support bounce here because we see when we get over. So we look, okay, we look left, like I always say, price action from just a couple weeks ago. When that level holds, what does it do? It bounces back up to the zone here. Do we get back here tomorrow? I don't know, like I always say. But if this level holds here, I'm not taking puts here. We break under retest, I'll take some puts. You get your rejection, that's fine, because we're probably going to revisit this, come down to this level here. How do I find that level here? Makes sense there, makes sense there. So day trade perspective, this is just day trade only for me. 341.72 if you guys want to mark that for you Tesla lovers like to play that. 399.47, basically 399.50, nice level there, so we can see how much price action respected that level there. So this was a pretty big level on Friday. They bounced it, during market open, and it held true. It did what it should. Sold, sold, sold. Sellers go, hey, we got enough meat off the bone. Let's get off this. Buyers like, all right, let's step in. Buyers bounced it. What they do in the day, kill candle right to that zone. After hours action, if we believe this candle so far, we're selling under it. So again, if we trickle kind of this zone and this zone, so if we open here, you ride those calls, but I'm absolutely not going to hold calls there. No way. Because we know that red zone and we know it's that Friday low. There's no way I'm holding calls or starting a call position there. So maybe you're in 5, you trim 4, that's fine. I probably still wouldn't even hold one just because that's just how I trade, low risk. But breakout, fine, ride that runner. Or you miss this move out, breakout, retest, and now, that retest is now a double bottom from Friday. Yeah, take your calls there, ride it up. But you see a push up, rejection, rejection, rejection for 60, 90 minutes, take your puts. That's going to be your easiest put entry on Tesla you're probably going to see all week because it's that Friday low rejection. Super, super easy. If we sell under that, anything under here, again, sell through support, puts, not trying to be mega bear, but it's obvious. We sell through support, get your puts. We break and hold over support, get your calls. Hopefully that helps you. Tesla's a beast. Don't get wrecked on it, moves fast. It's great when it works, and when it hurts bad. Yeah, it took Friday puts, went over 700%. Yep, FOMO for sure. But yeah, brother, hopefully this helps you on a Tesla trade, because actually it's great. If that's all we can hope for is it opens at a very, very key level. Norvin, how many? We're not to you yet. Sorry, we're catching up, brother. But you're late, man. Joe, Google, let's hit it. Hope you're still here. Just giving you a hard time, Norvin. Love you, brother. But you got to be present to win. Oh, dog, it's not dinner yet. Hold on. All right. Google, daily 200. Sold through it early session Friday. Moving averages. You don't believe me that there's support and resistance? Look at that. Damn. All right. Google, no perspective. Let's just get it. All right, Joe. Joe, are you in this? I got your attention. Are you in this? Want to do shares, swings? Are you already in a trade? Let me know, brother, or you can unmute if you want. It'll kind of, like I said, it'll kind of help me give you a trade plan, but some obvious things here in a swing. Calls or puts, man. If you're already in calls, okay. Got a little bit working against you, but don't let me shake you out too much. So this yellow line here is a daily 200. It moves slow. 200-day moving average. So the average of the 200 days moves slow. So we sell under it, rejection. We get over it, bounces. Sell under, you get the theme of tonight. So reject it twice. So don't love that, but I want to point that out right away. So if you don't have the 200-day on your charts, definitely put this on your chart, especially for this setup, because this is all that matters now. There's 2 things that matter for your calls to work, that you want it to work out. So I'm going to draw a zone here just for speed of class. And I'll flip the screen for you just 1 second. But so I wouldn't necessarily call this demand. It's just more of a zone to watch, brother, on what you want to happen tomorrow and this week. So again, obvious top side rejection here. I'm on the 1-hour chart. Let me zoom in best I can for you. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing a zone of, okay, we sold through the daily 200. Where are we bouncing, repeated times over and over? Does it make sense? Okay, draw a level there. So as we come into this 172 zone here, we can see just even from a couple weeks ago, bounces. Okay, They sold through it early at that open. What they do, but big buying pressure kicks in. 172, buying pressure kicks in. Sellers giving up. We sell through it. What happens? Big selling pressure. Okay. So now I zoom left. That's the level to watch. So I don't know how much time you have on it, but it to me, this is just cut and dry. So you got support on the bottom, you got resistance on top. You absolutely need to just, trust the trade plan. Unless you're in leaps or something, you can let this sell down in here, this 170 support, daily 9. But if you got something that expires in June, this is all that matters. This tight little range here, I would literally just zoom out on my charts like this. I'd set a top side alert, a bottom side alert. And we need 172 to bounce and hold for you. So I don't know if you're in calls down here or up here, but that's going to matter kind of greatly. But if you're in down here and we get back up at this daily 200, sell that shit, trim it, But if you bought up here, you need this to hold, you need this to curl, and your daily, your hourly 20 to come in, and you just want to see this 172 bounce. If this bounces, and even if you're down, 15, 20%, to me, in my mind, my mindset is no fear. Yeah, I'm red, but support bounce where it should, and it held, so I'm fine. I wasn't right, last week, but maybe I'm right today. When we break out this level, I get some profit on it. So that's all I'm watching. We sell through this 172, brother. I can't be in calls, and I can't say hold call, especially short dated. I can't tell you to average down because we're probably going to see a move, something like that. Not saying that fast and hard, but when we break through support, it's basically okay. Leg down. Where are we going? Where's big money moving? It's probably this 170 zone, this daily 9 moving average. So for your sake, I know you're already in it. I really want those 172. Someone else mentioned me last week. I think they're watching, what day was it? It's Thursday. They're in this, not trying to play the breakout, but watching this breakout here on Thursday. Just ultimately didn't happen. And so tough spot. Buy calls if you're not in. Everybody watching this chart on 172, buy that dip if that holds. Sell it up there into that 173. Yeah, June 4th. All right. So hopefully that works out for you, brother. If not, send me a DM if you need some more help. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's got to hold because that's going to sell hard if we get market selling pressure. Oh, I know I'm skipping a couple of double requests. Sorry, guys. I want to get everybody in. All right, Norvin, you're up. NNE, SMR, Pony, whatever the hell that is, or Reddit. Pick one, brother. Put it in the chat. What do you want? I like those first two you sent me. I'm not gonna lie. Pony, what the hell? All right. Let's check stock. Let's check the horse stock. Pony. I don't know how you find this stuff, brother. Pony. Just give me a hard time, brother. All right. Daily chart. This better not be all-time highs. Top range, brother. We should look at these other ones, man. Those other ones are nicer charts, man. That NNE was great, but let's do it. All right. Selling into the bottom of the range here. We bounced Friday. Does that make sense? You're damn right it makes sense. It's the top side of those wicks. So the top side of wicks, the top side of candles are support until they're not. These bounces here definitely make sense. Top range rejections. Do they make sense? Absolutely. So where do we close at? Yeah. So I'm grabbing that top side wick Friday, lines kind of up with that. Daily chart. Kind of run out of time up here, brother, unless we break out. Hopefully break out for your sake if you want to be bullish. But again, it's obvious when we push up and we fail breakouts in that red zone, what happens? Sell down, sell down, sell down. Breakouts hold, they move big. Don't hold, sell. Don't hold, sell. Sell twice on Friday, absolutely. So, any breakout over basically 20 flat, brother. Anything over 20, get long, stay long if you're not already in this 20 zone here. But again, all these rejections here, I can't say, if we open here at like 19.4, get calls, because that's just not how I trade. I look left and I go, that's not a spot to buy calls. You buy calls at support. So, yeah, don't love it, but I just want like that other play. I think it was SoFi. Just let's get the big breakout or whatever that was, or hood. Just get the breakout over this top range here, and we're fine, man. But from a day trade perspective, gotta see that level hold. Any sells here, and again, it's the most obvious short you should be taking because we see the sell every single time. Again, it can pay. We'll see. Reddit. All right. What's this thing at 112? Man, I think I was trading this thing in the 80s. Or no, when was I trading this? I don't even know. Damn, what a move. Clear and obvious, like I say. Not saying dive into calls, but not a spot want to take puts short because you can see you break this level, what's happening? Sellers, I mean, obviously they have a down day, but on swings and leaps, sellers like, no, we don't want this. Just ride that wave. Okay. And now starting February this year, yeah, February, what happens? Sellers full control. Is there some up days? Yeah, these blue candles are up days. But again, sellers full control. Big picture look on the daily. Now what's happening? We're selling back into a lower range, lower demand zone. And what happens? Selling pressure kind of petering out a little bit, kind of slowing down. Breakouts, yeah, they're moving. That's a potentially a $10-20 move, but there's no follow through on sells. There's really no follow through, over this 120 on calls either. But again, my point is, I don't look at a chart like this and go, not that you guys said puts, but my point is, I don't look at this and go, hey, let's get some leap puts or some put swings. Like, no. When I see support underneath and 2 moving averages stacked, not a place I want to get short. Smaller time frame, let's get a game plan. Definitely some top range, double top action from last week. Something to keep an eye on. So anything up here, if you don't catch your move on calls, you miss the boat. I guess we can grab that top side there. Anything up there, not really loving it on calls. So again, we're day traders. Let's not get married to a trade or too hopeful. You want the break over 113, that's fine. Wait for it to happen. Don't try and take it because you think it's going to happen today. But clear and obvious failed breakouts on 112, what happens? Sells, puts paid. Sell this after hours. If we bounce up, potential puts paying. We hold this level here, that's fine. Hold this level, get in some calls, but really even this red zone is just kind of like danger zone for me on calls. Like we can catch a $2 move from here to here, but I just think it's gonna be a big battle, a little bit of choppiness out. But any break over, seller is going to give up short term for sure because reclaim this support, top range from last week is now broken. 2 moving averages over us or under us, excuse me. A lot of reason to get start a swing position on that. But yeah, definitely a bottom range play that if you believe in Reddit and the company itself. Let me see what. I mean, that's, yeah, you're catching, this is, quick math. Good moves down here.
Yo, Monkey.
What's up, man?
Oh, thanks, man. You don't want to do that. It was kind of stressed me. So you caught it all right, you gave me your call.
Are you in the bathroom, brother?
Yeah, I'm about to have you, bro.
Oh my God, do not flush or I'm muting you forever. Honestly, I'm giving you shit, but I can't hear you, man. Really, it's hard to hear you. What do you say?
I'm not
All right, what's up? Make
I'm
it
not
quick.
using the bathroom, bro. I just wanted to say thank you, bro. I made a good amount of money on Reddit.
Oh, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, it's a team effort, dude. That's why we do these classes every week, man. Team effort, man. Glad to hear, man.
But
Oh,
yeah, that SMR and that NNE, bro, those shits they look fucking tasty, bro. It looks like an oak glow, honestly. Those two.
all right, man. One more, then we gotta do a recap. NNE, man. Look at this one. Look at that.
That one, bro.
Sellers
That's the
not making
fucking
progress. If you ever seen a trend line breakout, a dirty river trend line into support, this is what you do. Not saying diving calls, but shit, if this holds 30 tomorrow, this is I don't know what this is, guys. I'm just showing the chart in E, a daily 9, a trend line break, a demand zone hold, and a support hold, like all day long. Like if this 30 holds tomorrow, this is a golden setup for day trades and potentially swings. Ask Norvin what the hell it does in chat or something, but I don't know what it does. But I was looking at this chart, man. I was like, you know what? That is on breakout alert. But don't have too much bias because we can absolutely sell through this and continue down. But this is something to watch here that, sellers kind of didn't make any progress Friday. Calls didn't either, but this is high on watch for me. I'm not probably going to trade this name. I don't know it, but when I see a 30 bounce like that and we get into it again, if that holds, man, that's a good setup. Can't lie. That's a good chart there, man. All right, guys, SPY and QQQ, I got to wrap this up. You guys can head off if you need to, but a quick recap in case you guys were not there. QQQ first, fairly easy chart for me, fairly easy trade plan that is. Any holds of 518, I'm looking to be bullish for a day trade. I'm looking for a bounce. So as 518 holds, we see that battle that happened on Friday. When we hold over it, we see nice reactions over. But again, any sells under, hard selling pressure. But we hold, we start seeing bottom side wicks on 15, 30-minute candles. You should be thinking, hey, I should be playing that bounce. So I hope we open near 518. I don't want a big gap down or up. Just makes things a little bit tricky on us at the open. So I want to see that 518 hold because we got our daily 9 underneath. So 518 again, play your bounces. Again, do not look for your first target up here. That's greedy trading. There's lots to trade. There's a lot of targets here. Friday's high, Friday's mid-range, all those price targets in there. You find some targets on the 5, 15, 30-minute, whatever it is. But we bounce that 518. I'm looking for some bullish plays on the market. There could be some weakness in the market too that I can catch, but any holds of that. Any sells through 518, any sells through our daily 9, I'm looking to get bearish on the day. Not heavy bias. It's just I'm playing the chart and what I'm seeing. We gave up big support. We gave up a moving average. We probably retest this level down here, this 515 zone. Do we get it in a day, 2 days? I don't know. Halfway, do we get partially and then we bounce, reclaim it? I don't know, but that's my game plan on QQQ. SPY, a little more rangy. Again, if you were at the beginning of class, upper range here, if you guys want to mark levels, take screenshots, whatever it is, 590. I'm not starting a call position up here. I'm selling my calls. I'm selling for profit. I'm not diving into puts at 586, 585 down there. I'm looking to buy bounces. So a little bit tight of a range here, but again, any holds here, let's see where we open. Like I said, I want to see us open at a key level, hopefully open near this 587.4 or kind of over here. If we kind of open in the middle, it's kind of tricky. And I think we'll probably most likely see both. Like we could tag this and this, but if we kind of open, let's just say over 588, we push, reclaim 589. I'm not looking to really get short. We could take some shorts up here, but for me, if we break 589, I'm going to ride that wave on calls, and I'm absolutely setting alert up here at 590 to watch the reaction up there. So we kind of open, under 588, a little bit of short bias, some weakness bias. I think we can trickle into here. So it doesn't mean, hey, look for this target down here on puts when we break 588. No, look for this level here for that price action there. We sell through that, we know what happens. Okay, we bounce 587.4. We can see that bounce reaction for sure. I know that candle sliced through it, but breakout retest, definitely something to watch there. So tomorrow, as of now, QQQ is going to be a little bit easier to trade just based on where the charts are at. But let's just see where we open. Like I said, hope we don't gap up. I hate when we gap up and down really big. Makes it tricky. So if you guys need extra education, just pay attention to my tab in the morning. I'll kind of give my notes on SPY and QQQ. I try and make it very cut and dry, very obvious on, hey, if I were to take a call here, it'd be over this level. If I were to take a put. So hopefully you guys learned something tonight. You guys had some great charts, great setups for sure. So glad to have you guys all here. DMs are always open. Send me a DM if you guys need help. Send me a DM with your trade plan. I'd love to see you guys make trade plans and follow through. And the screenshot, I don't care if it's 20 contracts or one contract, you made $15. you followed your plan. That makes me a happy person. So with that, you guys, I'm in the Zoom chat tonight. Have a good rest of your night, and we'll catch you guys all tomorrow.